Joining us now might be a guy who might know something. Senior NFL insider for ESPN, host of the podcast named after him, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter. Well, you look good, baby.
Guys, happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hey, a couple of things in advance. I wore my red in honor of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I figured that was the least I could do to honor them today.
Very nice.
And I spoke to the hotel. I said, whatever you do, please make sure the fire alarm is not going off today.
No, that was pretty sick because we started singing. We had a good time, and then all of a sudden there's just alarms going off. We're too hot, just like Travis and Taylor probably. Yeah. We don't want to. Hey, she seemed invested. Then they seem, huh? Don't you think, Schefty?
Listen, I would just say, look, she's in the box. She's next to the mom. She's not there for the fun of it. I mean, draw your own conclusions there, Pat. But I can tell you this, that all the Swifties out there were going nuts. My daughter, 14-year-old daughter, flipping out. You know, I texted her in the afternoon. I said, I think Taylor Swift is there. And she goes, no way. And then, of course, it got confirmed later. And she was there, and everybody's going crazy about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the rating. Like, for serious. 41-0 was the score at halftime or whatever, and that rating's going to be bananas because there's a billionaire singer who's an absolute beast sitting in the suite, and it might be a new favorite celebrity couple.
That's right.
Let's move on. Let's talk about that game, though. Patrick Mahomes seems to tweak his ankle there at the end of the first half. Any news on that, or are we just moving forward because Patrick came back out and played with it taped? What's the update there, Schefty?
Well, he did. He came back out. It was taped. He looked like he was moving fine. I'm sure it's going to be swollen this week, and I'm sure he's going to be out there next Sunday night against the Jets for his first ever appearance at MetLife Stadium. He's never played there before. He's not going to miss the game now. Don't think he'll be fully 100% healthy, but it's not going to prevent him from being out there and playing.
Okay, let's talk about the Jets then. Are they going to get rid of Zach Wilson? I saw Fireman Ed was driving home. Okay, Fireman Ed still had his thing on, and Fireman Ed said, Douglas and Sala need to do right by the team. If they don't get rid of this guy, they're ripping off the fans. They're ripping off his teammates. He's not the only one, by the way. Rex Ryan said, oh, what do I know? I've only been on Earth for 60 years. These people are saying that Zach Wilson is a lost cause. I thought there was a chance he had changed because he's been around Aaron Rodgers for a couple months there. I thought there was a chance he maybe matured. I thought there was a chance he'd come in there, take the baton, and be the guy. I thought there was a chance the Jets were going to make the playoffs. I watched that guy play football. He is not good. He is not good at it. And his fans, the Jets fans, hate him. Are they getting a veteran quarterback? Are they going to look into that? Or do they stick with Zach Wilson and just hope that he can figure it out, even though he has proven over the last few years that seemingly he can't?
Pat, as a guy that grew up in New York, I can't tell you the number of texts I get from fans saying they've got to get rid of him. Like, everybody wants to. You heard during the game, Jim Nantz and Tony Romo were saying, how much longer can they stick with Zach Wilson? That's when you know, obviously, it must be a real question if the broadcasters, very polite, very fair, very even-minded, are saying, can they stick with this guy? I think they have to review their options. Here's the deal. Who do you want them to go out and get right now?
Kirk Cousins. Bingo. That's what everybody's saying. Andy Dalton, he was slinging it a little bit, even though he's a starter for the Panthers right now. I see Matt Ryan, I heard, because he's in the booth. Carson Wentz is available.
Exactly.
They're at the point where they're saying Carson Wentz. I don't know if Mason Rudolph's ever going to leave the Pittsburgh Steelers because how much Tomlin loves him. But there's names being tossed out there that I think a lot of us have seen not play great football. And I think Jets fans are just like, anybody but this guy. What is a realistic list, you think, of guys that could be optioned?
Well, you named the names that they would have to look at. It's not like they're going to go get somebody else that can come in and save the season. Kirk Cousins has to be the most intriguing name. And again, there's nothing to that right now, not to my knowledge. But the Vikings are 0-3, and they've made a decision where it certainly looks like they're going in a different direction than Kirk Cousins next year. That's the one that honestly is a logical fit for both sides if the Vikings were willing to do that. But at that point, they're punting on their season. Who are they turning it over to? Nick Mullins? At that point, what are you doing if you're the Vikings? Send a bad message if you trade Kirk Cousins away at this point in time. So I don't know that they're ready or prepared to do that. Like, that's a tough one. Even though he's going to be leaving there, everybody believes he's leaving there after the season, right?
Yeah.
So, and by the way, if you wait another couple of weeks and you hope that you turn it around, maybe they do that, and then they revisit it after 5 or 6 games before the trade deadline. Okay, that's the one that makes the most sense from all of our standpoints. The problem is it doesn't make as much sense to the Vikings and the Jets right now, at least not to my knowledge.
Yeah, and to your point, in a couple of weeks, who knows what the Vikings' record is, and are they ready to punt on the season because they understand that the reality
That's a punt. That's a punt. Once you trade him, you're punting on the season, which, by the way, if you're 0-5, if you're 1-6, something to that effect, I don't have a problem doing that and getting in the quarterback derby. They need a guy anyway next year. It's a great draft for quarterbacks. You get extra draft pick compensation. And then, what would the value be for a Kirk Cousins who's on the last year of his deal, who is a free agent? The Jets have Aaron Rodgers coming back next year. What are they willing to give up for a guy when they don't even have their second-round draft pick? That's going to Green Bay.
And also, what is the Jets' record in a few weeks?
Bingo.
What are they thinking for next year? So there's a lot of moving pieces. In your eyes, though, Zach Wilson's still the guy going forward.
They keep saying that. Here's the thing. The head coach is adamant that they're sticking with Zach Wilson. Everybody else watching it looks at it and says, how can they stick with Zach Wilson? So that leaves us where we're at right now with the questions coming up in the way that they are. I think they will look at quarterbacks this week. I don't know that it's not going to be somebody that can step in and start Sunday against Kansas City and go beat Patrick Mahomes. I think that's Zach Wilson. But the question is, what can they do to address the position for the remainder of the season?
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it because defense is incredible.
Yeah, very good.
Weapons are very good.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line, I guess, stinks, but you can hopefully work. They got Zach and Hack kind of working over there.
Well, all the changes that they make, that was wild. Like, Dwayne Brown goes in IR. They move Mekhi Becton from right tackle to left guard. They move Elijah Vera-Tucker from guard to right tackle. They move their rookie Joe Tippmann from center to guard. Like, one injury, which they knew was coming, and they practiced this way, so it's not a surprise. But one injury to Dwayne Brown meant 3 changes on the offensive line.
Yeah.
It's wild. So now it's a tough spot for Zach Wilson when you're behind this remade, reworked offensive line against a tough defense, and they're not calling anything downfield. Everything seems to be conservative. So it's just an all-around bad situation for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so, too. And, Zach, we think you're incredibly handsome.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I mean? But for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to work out at any point of your Jets' stay. Let's turn our focus to this evening. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Schefty, obviously a lot of question marks around Joe Burrow. I read something earlier from a source that I don't know if we can ever say that we trust completely, but he is an insider. And he said that there's a game-time decision.
Who are you talking about?
Our good friend of the program, Lil Latte.
Oh, Jordan Schultz.
Yeah.
Okay. Talking about Schultz, he's on come up. Schultz is on come up. Shout out.
He's on his way up.
Coffee and everything like that.
Yeah, but he's not,
we don't know if he's batting 1,000. He doesn't know. He's insider.
No, he's not at the Schefty, level. So that's why we can't take anything that he says.
He's trying to get there, though, Schefty. He's on your ass, Schefty.
Yeah. Be careful, Schultz, Schefty. He is coming for your job and possibly your home. You never know. But what's going on with him? Is he going to play tonight? Is there a chance that Burrow doesn't play? And then is there anything else in that game as far as injuries go that we should look out for?
Well, I think that Joe Burrow's been pushing to play. He wants to try to play. The question is whether the Bengals are going to go out there and let him. And, there aren't game time decisions. It'll be a decision where I think we'll know by 4 o'clock, because at 4 o'clock, you'll see if the Bengals promote Reed Sennett or A.J. McCarron from their practice squad, whether they move up another quarterback. I think that'll be the first sign about whether or not Burrow's going. If they don't promote a quarterback at 4 o'clock, Joe Burrow's starting, because that means that Jake Browning would be the guy there and the backup, and Joe Burrow's there. He is pushing to play. He wants to play. We'll see whether he can make it out there tonight.
We saw him walking across the highway that he got to get to the Bengals the other day. And the gait is not fantastic for him. He's obviously, this is just something they're expecting to deal with all season. Is that kind of how they're viewing it?
Well, first of all, it depends on the grade of the strain, right? And I don't want to get too medical because I'm not qualified to do that. But if it's a grade 1, he could probably play through it. If it's a grade 2, then it becomes something that would sideline him for multiple weeks. And so they're trying to do what's right. We know he's not healthy, and he's not going to be healthy if he's out there playing tonight. The question is, can he play through whatever grade calf strain he has right now? And, he hasn't looked right. He needs some rest. The problem is they're 0-2. They don't want to be 0-3. They can't afford to rest him. So that's the quandary that the team is left with going into tonight.
Good word. What do you think happened in that golf cart ride with Mr. Brown at practice the other day where he picked him up?
You haven't seen that before, right?
Yeah.
You haven't seen that before.
Yeah, what do you think
it's
he
very
said?
unusual.
What do you think it was?
Joe didn't want to say. Joe did not want to say what was said in that meeting. My guess is, the Bengals are probably saying something. Hey, we want to be careful with you. We want you right for the long run. We don't want to do anything to jeopardize this. Because Joe's the one, I think, who's pushing to play, wants to be out there. And sometimes teams have to stand in the way of a guy doing further harm. So maybe he's just giving that message. Let's be smart here. Let's be very careful about this. I know you want to be out there. We all know you want to be out there. But we got to do what's right, whatever that is on Monday night.
What if he said, if you can get off this golf cart while it's still moving on your way, we'll let you.
That was an angry departure.
It was. Get off and walk. I'm okay. I'm good. I appreciate the fact that the ownership is obviously involved because they just paid him a massive, handsome reward for everything he's earned. But this is not how the season was supposed to go for Joe.
It's crazy. Now that I think about it, remember Jamar Chase, when he first came out early when he got hurt, he was like week 4. I just came out, and that was weird to hear from a star receiver with his quarterback, especially. But especially with a calf injury, you expect it to be a couple weeks. So now that you're seeing this lingering throughout the beginning of the season, it's like, what did Chase know?
Well,
we didn't know.
T. Higgins too. T. Higgins was the one last week that was like, we're all kind of
watching him walk.
Watching him, exactly. Go through the motions.
Yeah, who knows what? I guess we'll find out this evening if he's playing. How about in the Eagles-Bucks games? Anything we should be keeping our eyes upon on ABC?
Well, we got Kenneth Gainwell off the injury report for the Eagles. DeAndre Swift was on fire last night. They love him down there, DeAndre Swift. But still think Kenneth Gainwell is the red zone back, the guy that is going to get some short yardage work. It's both guys. Boston Scott's out tonight. We obviously saw that they don't have a lot of trust right now in Rashad Penny. So it looks like it's those two backs for the Philadelphia Eagles. And after a game like last week where A.J. Brown, wanted the football more, I always wonder about a guy like that in a game like this. If they try to go back to that guy and make him happy the next week after he was unhappy last week. So to me, I'm watching A.J. Brown tonight to see if he gets the football at the frequency he does. And Baker Mayfield, by the way, opportunity for the Buccaneers here, right? They're 2-0. They're unbeaten. They're one of these teams tonight. The team that wins will be the last of 3 unbeaten teams in the league. Nobody had the Bucs on that list, being 3-0, if they can find a way to beat the Eagles tonight.
Good for Baker doing his thing. Got weapons, got a great defense. We'll see if they can stop the Eagles on ABC. Yeah. Speaking of teams that are winning more games than anybody could have imagined, Colts are 2-1. Don't look now. The top of the AFC South. Go ahead, D-Bud.
No big deal. And obviously we got an upcoming deadline with Jonathan Taylor to come off of PUP. Any update out here in Indy with the situation there? Still went out. Is he happy? Is he ready to get back out there for the Colts? What's the deal with JT?
Well, Dennis, what's interesting yesterday is the Miami Dolphins had everybody in their roster run for over 100 yards.
Yeah.
And that was the team of all the teams out there that made the most sense for Jonathan Taylor. But you have to wonder, after a game like that, when the Dolphins are one of those unbeaten 3-0 teams, and they look at it and they say, as great as Jonathan Taylor is, and he's a superstar, why at this point in time is Miami going to be willing to give up the compensation that Indianapolis would demand to go get Jonathan Taylor when they've got Raheem Mostert running wild, when they got their rookie Davon Achane, that's how you pronounce it, thank you, Peter, Achane, running wild.
Been a few different.
That's certainly not how you pronounce it.
So is that the right one?
That's
I said
definitely
one
not
way.
how you pronounce his name.
You said it one way.
You said
Schefty said it another
You
way.
are nowhere near it. It's Achane.
Achane. He told Peter King this. Achane.
So you were wrong too.
That's bullshit.
Achane.
All right, well, he just ruined one of the greatest names. Achane.
We're not calling that.
Yeah.
Yes. Achane. It's not Achane moving the chains. It's Achane.
Achane. There we go. Breaking.
It is breaking.
Devon Achane.
Heartbreaking.
Oh, Peter King doesn't want the tush push in the NFL, though. He could be trying to ruin all the good things. Like Achane is a good name.
Change it to Achane.
I bet he's pissed about T-Swift.
What was Joe's name? Thiesman.
Yeah.
Joe's Thiesman.
That's right.
And then he won the Heisman. They said, that's Joe Theismann. A-Chain is sick.
It's A-Chain.
No, it's not. It's A-Chain. Let's have respect. Remember, this could be an Okariki situation.
Yeah. Not calling
But anyway, okay, so they got Raheem Mostert.
By the way, Joe did not win the Heisman. That was up for the Heisman candidacy.
What?
Changed his name, didn't even win it. And he said, this is sweet. My name's Theismann.
Yeah.
A-Chain would have been awesome.
I thought they named it after.
A-Chain, we apologize for calling you a sweet name, A-Chain, for some.
Sorry
about it.
Jeez.
Yeah, you're welcome, too.
Anyway.
Peter King's been around a long time. He's probably right.
Now that we've got that straightened out. So you got Raheem Mostert. You got Devon Achane. You got Jeff Wilson coming off IR.
Say it again. Say the name again.
Devon Achane.
Oh,
it just doesn't work.
It
doesn't sound right.
Boom.
Upon being asked,
it is better. It is better just saying A-Chain, right?
It's pronounced Devon A-Chain, with his last name opening a world of A-Train marketing possibilities should he develop a bandwagon. Apologies to Mike Allstein. That's from May 12th, 2023 there. Palm Beach Post.
When P. King write his.
Devon A-Chain. Well, you know what? Peter King this morning. Look at what Peter wrote.
No. Source off. We got a source.
I trust
Paul
Paul.
Peter.
That's my newspaper.
Peter asked Devon Achane, whatever his name is.
AJ.
He asked him, and he wrote it up as Achane.
Jeez.
You forget a letter?
All right.
Well,
Well,
he's
listen,
got-
this is a mystery.
Yeah, it is.
This is quite a mystery. If we had a better relationship with the Dolphins, we just ask them. But we don't have a good relationship with them. So we hope you will get to the bottom of it.
You don't have a better relationship. What's the problem?
Honestly, I don't know. McDaniel came on our show and crushed it, but a lot of people were like, look at how high this guy is. I think they thought that was our fault. I don't know. He was awesome on our show. And then we also cooked their social media department a couple times because they put some bad videos out of Tua. So I think we just kind of soiled the relationship with the PR department, which, as you'll find out working alongside of us, this will happen.
A lot.
This will happen. We got like 7, 8 of the teams that we do not have good relationships with. That's just the way it is. Anyways, Mostert went bananas. Chan went bananas.
Went bananas. And they got Jeff Wilson coming off IR after 4 weeks if he wants, if he's ready. So now you got another back. So, again, not that they couldn't use Jonathan Taylor. Every team could use Jonathan Taylor. But are they going to pay what Indianapolis would demand to give up Jonathan Taylor? And I would say no. So if Miami is not going to give up what it would take, who is? Now let's see if another team suffers an injury. But I think that the place for Jonathan Taylor, the best place for him, is Indianapolis.
Well,
I agree.
we got a guy named Zach Moss who went bananas yesterday. So I'm okay with 21 doing his thing. And if Jonathan Taylor wants to be here, sweet. Come on back. But a lot of things have been said. A lot of things have been said.
Bygones be bygones.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Shane Steichen trying to build his culture, and there's one guy, our best guy, is being the worst guy after saying he's not going to. I mean, I think there's a chance. Come on. Let's go shake their hands. Because Jim Irsay has grieved Takate. I don't know if you saw the video. He put out a video yesterday about him getting past the loss of Lolita and Takate, which was also happening at the same time as the Jonathan Taylor. Remember, he was trying to get a 757 to get Takate from Miami to Washington.
That's right.
At the same time, Jonathan Taylor was asking for a brand new contract. So maybe bygones will be bygones.
Yeah.
Maybe Jonathan Taylor can come back up Zach Moss. That would be incredible. Last question here for you as we appreciate the hell out of your time, Schefty, on this Monday.
Schefty, we were talking a little bit about the Packers before you jumped on, and I think this previous week going into the Saints game, a lot of those guys who didn't play on Sunday did practice. Were they just being cautious looking ahead to Thursday night against the Lions, or what is the status of guys like Aaron Jones, Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins, Jair Alexander, Christian Watson, all those guys who didn't play?
Well, number one, I thought Christian Watson had a real chance to go on Sunday, and I think the fact that they were playing a short week against the Lions on Thursday probably entered into it, right? Where the guy had a hamstring injury. Do you want to push him for 2 games in 5 days, or do you want to just wait, hope we can sneak through here, and then have him out there against Detroit? So to me, my sense is that we'll see Watson on Thursday night. Jones was a little further away, wasn't on the practice field at all last week. Bakhtiari obviously has got that lingering issue. You just hope that he gets well because they're so much of a better team when he's out there, and you just hope he can be right. And Jair Alexander, I haven't heard about, but I do think the fact that the Thursday night game against the Lions in a short week was there, I think that did influence at least some of the decisions that they made on Sunday.
What a big-time win for the Packers. Jordan Love basically cements it's his era. And that whole moment with him and the Packers fans was awesome. That was so cool. And I think also, and I don't always – I guess this is kind of what our show's known for. Like, Aaron used to do that type of stuff, too. Yeah. Remember, like, when games are won, like, in the huddle, the sky cam is caught, like, hey, let's enjoy the hell out of this. Yeah. I like that Jordan has, I appreciate the fact that he's emotional.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He, cares.
Very fiery.
Because some of those quarterbacks that are like this, it's like, Anyway, Schefty.
By the way, I just got a text from the NFL. That's the Dolphins media guide says Achane.
Boom. Boom.
Bang. You're right.
Suck it, Pete.
Sorry, Pete.
Gotcha.
It's kind of what sports media is now, isn't it, Pete? Sorry about it.
I never guessed that in going into week 4 of the NFL season, coming out of week 3, that the biggest controversy would be how to pronounce the name of the Miami Dolphins rookie running back. But here we are.
He went for 200 and some yards.
Yeah, have to.
I mean, we need to talk about it. If we're going to talk about it, let's say his name right. Yeah, 2 receiving, 2 rushing. We need to say his name properly. Schefty, what are you on tonight? You're on the Countdown Show? You guys in studio, or where are you guys at?
Pat, you know how this is. This is like the NFL channel. I think we go the Blitz at 3 o'clock, NFL Live 4 o'clock, right into the pregame show at Monday Night Countdown 5 o'clock into a doubleheader, like wall to wall, nonstop.
Well, good luck out there. You crush it. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, have a great day. Thanks for having me.
Commanders, are they looking at Sam Howell?
Commanders, looking at him in what sense? To bench him?
Yeah, 4 picks. I mean, what is going on over there?
He had a bad game yesterday. They were very pleased with where he's at. Oh, the Dolphins have just weighed in. Hold on. He's now telling us it's A-Chan as of last night.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Oh, my God.
He's been hanging around
How are
with,
we supposed to keep up?
been hanging around with Chosen too
The
long.
Dolphins just texted A-Chan. Okay, so there we go. It's settled as of last night. Devon
Peter.
A-Chan.
Nah,
That's how
Peter
we love to
texted.
pronounce.
This man, A-Chan.